Hello, my name is Opal Singleton. I am the president and CEO of Million Kids. We hope that you will follow us on our social media. This is what we call a Million Kids Insider Alert. In this case, we want to educate about a dating site called MyLOL that is used by teenagers everywhere. You may want to share this with others that you know. We serve as the training and outreach coordinator for the Riverside County Anti-Human Trafficking Task Force in Riverside County in Southern California. This particular case is an international case because it started with undercover officers out of the UK, and they connected with a perpetrator who was 31 years old, lived in Springfield, Missouri, and his name is Kody Kelso. And he was using a dating site called MyLOL and the Google Hangout site to communicate. So I thought this would be a great opportunity to educate parents and counselors and teachers and law enforcement and social workers about the dating site MyLOL. So there wasn't an actual victim in this case because he connected with what he thought was a 13-year-old girl, but in fact it was an undercover officer out of the UK, and they pretended to be the 13-year-old girl. So, but I thought this was a good case for you to understand how MyLOL dating site works. So it's an undercover operation. He's talking to some undercover officers out of the UK. He lives in Springfield, Missouri. He does not realize he's talking to law enforcement. He asked her, believing her to be 13 years old, to have sexual intercourse with him. And also, he repeatedly asked for sexually explicit images. He asked her to go to Google Hangouts to send sexually explicit photos outside the MyLOL platform. Now, MyLOL is a dating site for teenagers. So we're going to get deep into that here in a minute. In the end, he pled guilty and he was convicted, and he was sentenced to 15 years in federal prison without parole. So whenever possible, it's important to get these cases on a federal level. Obviously, this would have been because the actual investigation took place overseas. When law enforcement served the search warrant, they seized 19 electronic devices, including 16 images and 39 video files of child pornography, meaning photos, illicit photos of someone under the age of 18. So I want to familiarize you with MyLOL because we're seeing that right up there in the top 5 of dating sites that are used by perpetrators. It is currently, according to the research that I did, the #1 dating site in the US, Australia, UK, and Canada. Now, I also want you to know that this claim is also made by Tinder and Meet Me. So, but Tinder, of course, is an adult site that sometimes is used by teenagers. You can post blogs on it. You can participate in forums. It has a public chat room, and it has private chat on it. You can vote and you can comment on other users' photos or videos. You can earn virtual rewards to give you that loyalty and connection to the site. And that gives you special privileges. It is free to use, although there is a premium subscription. I want parents to understand this because a lot of times when parents are looking at a child's phone, they don't know anything about all these different sites and how they function, so they don't know what to look for. This website was built for teenagers that are 13 to 19 years old, but it has a geo function that always worries me. That means they connect you to the people that live closest to you. And if you're a perpetrator, that means that you have much more likely capability of actually hooking up with someone near you. It's used both on the Android and the iPhone, and you can direct message or private message between you. You can vote, you can search, you can chat, you can share photos, and you can create a unique profile. One thing I want all parents to know is that they have a partner app on this that I had not ever heard of, Spot a Friend Here. So keep in mind, in case you see that, that is connected to a teen dating site. And that Spot a Friend Here also has a geolocation app showing that where the teens are that are closest to you. Now, when you sign up, users have to put in their birthday and their location, but they're not all verified. You're supposed to be under 20 years old, but again, you can enter any information you want, making it easy for pedophiles to use. Users upload photos and select profiles of people from the opposite gender or a gender they're interested in that interests them. They receive credit every time they vote. So that encourages them not to just kind of go through, but actually interact with these folks. The voting is based on whether or not you find the other person attractive. The users receive credit when they match with other members. So again, they're encouraging you to be on there a lot and to participate. Those credits give you privileges that allow you to be able to see who has voted on their profile. The profiles are public, and users can set the gender and age range of people who they want to connect with. My LOL is a dangerous platform as it makes it easy for predators and pedophiles to anonymously target teens. According to a website that I read that I found quite interesting called smartsocial.com, the users regularly post scandalous ads and inappropriate photos and content in a generally vulgar, sexual in nature and not suitable for teens, but it is taking place there. Just to keep you up to date, these four, Flirt.com, Friend Finder X, Tinder, and Meet Me, are other top dating sites that are used by teens. Now, usually older teens, because Tinder is supposed to be 18 years old to use. So what would happen is he met this supposed girl. Of course, we know it was an undercover officer, but he met her and on a dating site, and he moved her over to Google Hangout. I share that with you parents because the first thing a pedophile will do is move you from one app to the other. They're trying to verify you're not a cop, and they're also looking to see if they've been able to start to influence you enough that you will follow them. So parents may not be aware of Google Hangout. That allows you to text message, photos, videos with anyone who has a Google account. So it's not a bad site. It's like all other technology. It's not good or bad. It's kind of like a car. You can take that car to university and get a degree, or you can take that car to a strip club and get in trouble. It's not the car. It is how we prepare the user of that car. And in this case, the user of this app. You can live chat, you can do Google contacts, you can call phone numbers, you can have face-to-face conversations in Google Hangout. It's similar to WeChat, Viber, and Skype. So again, not a bad application, but what I want you to see is if your child is hanging out on apps that will give them hook up with teen, and they move them over to Google, okay, then what they're trying to do is be able to interact and connect with that person outside the dating sites such as my LOL. So talk to your children and share this with your older children, especially your younger children. Absolutely should never be on a dating site. But talk about the dangers of how this works. So if you think your child's a victim of sextortion, here's the do nots first, okay? Do not alert the pedophile about what is happening. First of all, the do is talk to your child and say, if you get yourself in trouble, please trust me enough to come to me and let me help you out of it, okay? Because this gets very, very dangerous. If your child, if you become aware that your child's a victim of sextortion or exploitation, don't alert the pedophile. Do not tell them that you're going to the police. Do not assume that by removing the device from your child that they'll be safe, because we all know kids, they'll borrow somebody else's phone. Do not assume the child is safe just because they stop talking to the pedophile. You know, many of these devices have geolocation. So your child is not safe just because they stop talking. Do not delete the photos, but do screenshot them, okay? Do not share the photos with others except a spouse or a law enforcement officer. If your child's a victim of sextortion or social media exploitation, you know your child better than anybody else. Look for signs of behavioral change. You know, all of a sudden, are their grades dropping? Pardon me here. Are your grades dropping? And often this happens to straight A students. Are they becoming secretive? They shut the door, they shut their device, they kind of shut down. And this, especially with young men that are being extorted or sextorted, they will often shut down. They may start cutting or other signs of self-harm. It's a big red flag. Watch out for that. They may not be able to sleep because they're really anxious and full of anxiety about what's about to happen and how to fix it. They may need to get large sums of money fast if they're being blackmailed. They may show signs of being groomed or a fantasy relationship, or signs of depression and withdrawal or suicide. Talk to your child about never, ever go out and meet up with someone if they are blackmailing you, or someone that you met online that you don't know. That is exactly how you get physically violated. So if your child's a victim of sextortion, sit down with your child and talk to them in a non-judgmental way. Don't wag your finger or make crazy allegations. They most likely are terrified, and many of these kids have ended up committing suicide. So we don't want that. We want them to know that they can trust you, that you will help them walk through it. Sit calmly with your child and ask them, I see you dealing with something really heavy here. Can we talk about this? If they can't talk, then say, is it possible you might have one of the photos online? Not judgmental, Let them know that if they can't talk, that you hope not. But if it is true, they're not alone, that you will help them work through it. And it will be the toughest thing ever one of you have ever done. Immediately take that phone. First, screenshot it. Don't alert the pedophile or the predator. Go directly to your law enforcement, your cyber crimes unit, your child sex crime unit, your undercover group, and take the child and the phone and ask for cyber crimes, and then get counseling. Get separate counseling for your child. I don't care if they're 18 years old and 6 feet tall. This is a life-changing matter. Get separate counseling for the parents, because you will handle it differently and it will feel like a tremendous loss. And if there are other family children involved, be sure that you get separate counseling for them. By the way, if you are a counselor, Me and Kids will help you and train you to perform this kind of counseling by understanding this crime. Develop a family strategy to work with law enforcement and for your family to recover. And let that child know that they have not been damaged in your eyes. If it's not a 911 emergency, if this is not immediate, but you're suspicious or you have some information that you believe someone may be committing a crime or a victim of a crime, you can report, and you can report anonymously at 1-888-3737-888. So please follow Me and Kids on our social media, and you can go to our website and sign up for our newsletter. And I want to thank each and every one of you that financially support Me and Kids. Without you, we can't do this work. You can do that by going to meandkids.org and hit that donate button. You can also reach me. Again, I am not 911. I carry a full platter of work here and couldn't respond immediately. But if you have something you want to ask, you can write to me at opal@meandkids.org. That is incorrect. It is not .com. It is meandkids.org. Let's get that corrected. Okay, thank you so much for listening to us. I'll see you next time on Me and Kids Insider Alerts.